Speaking freedom. Speaking freedom. Giving you the answers to be free. Be free. Be free. 'Cause we're speaking freedom. And we're live online with Kaci.
I'll still bless you in the middle of the storm, in the middle of my trial. I'll still bless you in the middle of the road.
Okay, so I am sitting here. I'm still in the bed. I've been wanting to do a video for the last couple of days on a couple of different topics. Just seeing things in the media and looking at things from a new level of understanding and perspective, and even my wanting to open myself up to more. I was just listening to something and it made me realize that leadership is 99% action. No, take that back. Leadership is 50% action, 25% thought, and 25% motivation. But leading others is probably about 90% of encouragement, and it is about 10% of direction. And I say encouragement meaning motivation, permission to do what it is that God has placed on your heart or you feel led to do. But sometimes when we are led to do something, the ideal might scare us, and or the ideal might make us feel like if we do it, this is how other people will perceive it. This is what other people will judge, or we start over analyzing what could go right. And even sometimes the fear of doing the right thing and it being successful is just as overwhelming as the anxiety of failure. So a lot of people, I'll say including myself, because at some point or another, I felt like a lot of people need the permission to be themselves first, because a lot of people are caught up, especially in today's world and society. You got people that's caught up in trying to be whatever their family or parents tell them that they should be. Then you got people that's trying to be what society tells them to be. Then you got people that's trying to be what society tells them to be, what their parents and family tell them to be, and combining the two and struggling with those two. Then you have people that are trying to be those two things and who they are. Then you got people that want to be just completely who they are. So for each one of those levels and anywhere in between that you may find yourself, you may need that permission, like I have needed that permission at some point, to be more than what is common or normal. And the normal now is not always natural. So some people need the permission just to be natural. Some people need the understanding of what they have or who they are as being the natural person is more powerful than anything that they could put on. Some people don't even realize that what they do is a gift. Some people don't even realize that who they are is a gift. Some people don't realize that they are the actual blessing. Their persona, their light, their aura about them carries a blessing. Some people, not all people, are actually tapped into their Christ-likeness. Some people are not. Some people can look the part and not be the person, not be the example of God's anointing in this earth. Some people will not look like God's anointing at all and be Christ in this earth based on perception, what you see around you, who you see received, who you see rejected. Even experiencing rejection because the people around you, people like a whole culture of people, a whole race of people, they could perceive you as being one thing. But then the people around you could also perceive one thing as well. And those could be two totally different things or similar things. You can never tell. But literally, I believe that only a small percentage of people need direction, like real, like, okay, you need to do this, and to encounter somebody, and based on the encounter and what God is showing me about you, you need to do boop, 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 boop. You know what I'm saying? This is how you should set it up. Or I think I am in this area, kind of. Some people need, okay, let me hear your plan, and then let me help you based on what your plan tell you how you could do it and what you should do. This is both me giving and receiving, because sometimes I need me. I am the strategist once you have a plan, or once you have an ideal, or if you need help with an ideal. Shit, I might even be able to just be around you and be like, man, you would be really good at this. Those are all things that I am good with, and that's what Speaking Freedom is really about, mostly. Love Gang and Good Head Group are the education and the affiliate program. If I encounter you up under Speaking Freedom, that's just an encounter at that moment, at that time, for whatever it is that God wants to put in your mind, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever that encounter is supposed to be. But up under Love Gang and Good Head Group, that is where I do all of the Speaking Freedom TV and everything that goes with just the knowledge factor, or the let's be better about ourselves factor. Now, the thing is that Speaking Freedom as a whole is a virtual coaching establishment. That's the whole goal of it, is to be virtual coaching people, but in a very unique and different way. So Love Gang and Good Head Group is, I'm going to help you think better. I'm going to help you with your mindset. And then I am going to help connect you and link you with other people that are on the same wavelength. Love Gang and Good Head Group affiliates, of course, often optimize off of the perks of Speaking Freedom and who I am as a person. Speaking Freedom is more of the, this is what you should do, this is the guidance, this is, whatever I can do to help you as led by God. In the realm of both my giving and receiving is, okay, I have this plan. Now, what do you think I should do in order to execute this plan in a way that's going to be most effective? And being able to call an audible is really the person that you open for guidance to. But then this is also me. The last part is the people that they know their plan, they know their purpose, they know every move and every, they got everything charted, written down, and it's all coming together. All they need is either the open door or the motivation. They don't need the direction. They don't need no strategy. They don't need shit. They just need, if you open this door, they're going to run off. Now, I personally like working more in the Speaking Freedom capacity with the people that's already in phases 2 and 3. And the reason why I like working with people in phases 2 and 3 is because the goal of Speaking Freedom is primarily to get you to fine-tune your relationship with God, heal yourself, or address the traumas that are blocking your purpose. And now healing may come in part. For me, healing was health, building my personal understanding of self, which understanding myself better mean that I could accept more things about myself, because now I understood the things that brought me to certain areas of my life and myself. Then it included, once I accepted myself, it was understanding myself and getting more personable with myself. That really opened up my purpose more, because now I understand why I think the way I do, the things that I could do in this world to help other people, and all of that. And then I had to really address my physical health. So all of these things, you have to, kind of get into alignment. And then once you get into alignment, you can shoot. So sometimes a door needs to be open. Sometimes you have things you need to handle, and then you ready to go. Now, with Speaking Freedom, again, the goal is to get you fine-tuned with God. So once you start getting your mind right, you're going to hear a little bit more clear. Once you start getting your understanding of yourself right, you won't battle inwardly as much, because now you have an understanding. And anything that you are not satisfied with, anything that you're not proud of, anything that you think that you don't like, you can work on, and you can begin to address and fix, because now you have recognized some core things that plays a part into your behavior. This is the thing. If you don't begin to recognize what plays a part in your behavior, then you can never really change your behavior. You'll just do shit just to be doing shit, but you don't change your mindset. Until you change your mindset, things will continue to bother you. Things will continue to trigger you and all these things. And I'm not saying that I'm not triggered, because I've changed some things about me. Those triggers now begin to affect me differently. Now I have an understanding of why I'm triggered, so I can kind of manage it when I can. Sometimes I can't. But the more you do those things, the more you bring calm and peace to yourself. So you're not thinking about different negative things. Now you're starting to change your mind to the more positive aspect, because now you're not judging yourself. You're not looking down on anybody else, because now you're like, well, wait a minute. If these things have gone on with me, if these things are what I've experienced, then I understand other people a little bit better, because I don't know what they've been through. Their life could have been totally different. And if you really consider things like that, it frees you from even looking at people's situation in a judgmental place. People act like if you have a comment on anything that you don't agree with, it's judging. And it's not always the case. Sometimes you are helping to provide understanding and informational direction that can help people think a different way, or help people heal to an extent to where it frees them. So the more you tap into yourself, the better you commune with God, the less even confirmation you need from outside sources. So this is the goal for Speaking Freedom, because now if you are fine-tuned and in alignment with God, you get a better understanding of purpose and all of these things, then your life begins to change. The environment you place yourself in begin to change. The ability to only need the door to be open is available now. You know what I'm saying? You go from needing direction, like the people that are boggled down by all of the things that I just talked about, they can't even get their thought wrapped around what they should do, what could work for them, or anything else, because they got everything else going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you begin to shape your mind around what you want for yourself, as you begin to heal and really realize who you are and accept that in its true essence, instead of all of the things that everything that you've experienced, the world, society, and generational patterns begin to develop. You know, when you address those things, you can become a totally different person. And not like you be fake. No, all of the fakeness, all of the things that you put on, sometimes it's not that you fake, is you've put on so many things to protect yourself to now you're not even you no more. So when it comes to leadership, getting people to understand and be themselves is really key. The money part ain't key, because if you get money but you don't understand yourself, then you can be with money and still have just as many or more problems than when you didn't have money. Because the reason why it's more money, more problems is because you don't even know the direction that you should be going. So you're inviting people in that don't even align with the direction that God has you on. And when you begin to, this is where I tread lightly when dealing with couples, if they're not in total alignment or agreement with working with me or getting information from me. And the real reason is, this is the reason. Because when you begin to address these things, if both of y'all are on the same page, then you'll go two totally different ways. If they just doing it and going along to get along to make it look good, but they not really on it, you're going to be able to distinguish that based on the amount of effort they put into whatever it is that y'all working on, whatever it is that y'all supposed to be doing. So it is very essential for leadership to understand that everybody don't need direction. Everybody ain't doing it wrong. Everybody's path ain't fucked up. Some people literally need the motivation. They need to understand, because if you understand the part of psychology that I try to help people get as far as experience and stuff, then that will make you move different. Understanding is key. And that's like the second portion. The last portion is carrying out what you understand. The last portion is doing what you know that God has planned. How do you know what God has planned? What are the things that God has spoken to you within? What are the things that you feel strongly and deeply, I don't want to say convicted about, because a conviction in your spirit can be a few different things, but addressing those convictions can help lead you to where you need to be. Addressing the things that come across your mind. If you think about something crazy, whether it's aliens, different planets, or whatever the case may be, if you begin to explore those thoughts, even if you hear a suggestion from somebody else, and broaden your horizon, begin to learn new things, that will open up your level of understanding. That will help you in so many ways, because it not only helps you, everything that you do to help yourself, it affects everybody else, because you understanding life, love, communication, alignment, purpose, plan, and again, you get your plan based on what God shares with you, what you're convicted by, what you're drawn to. And once you get that and you begin to run with it with understanding, baby, your life changes. Your whole everything changes. How you carry yourself changes. Because if you're doing things just for a bag, if you're doing things just for the things that you never had, or so that you never go back to a certain place, you don't heal that area within yourself, then guess what? You'll be in that place again. You'll just be in that place with more money, because the place is normally a mindset. The place is normally where you settle in your mind that you should be, because if not, then you'll always be growing and evolving, and the certain things won't even be attractive to you anymore, because the more you understand yourself, the more you understand others. But the more you understand others, the more you understand whether or not someone is really and actually good for you. Now, this kind of leads into one of the videos that I wanted to do, but this is really supposed to be solely about leadership. But sometimes leadership is being able to understand when your decisions are based in trauma. And so I am going to try to fit this into this video. So over the weekend, Kiki Shear, y'all know my feelings about her is based on some very real things that have taken place, and some narratives and some judgments and all that type shit. And I understanding her family story, and I believe that. So over the weekend, I'm going to say what I believe in a sec. Over the weekend, they was talking about how she said that she won't let friends spend the night over her house. She'll get them a hotel room because she's married and she don't want them around her husband overnight. This is the way the headlines read prior to listening to the entire video. It doesn't change what I said, because I believe that in her family, one of her aunts took one of her other aunts or mom's man or something crazy like that, that made me understand, okay, this is why she look at shit like that. So when I saw the headlines, I was just like, if you are moving like you can't trust the people that you're with, then you need to get new people, or you need to fix your inner issues, because that is a trauma response. And I mean, they was taking that all totally different type of ways. Motherfuckers get mad. Somebody tried to goddamn, this little young girl, I don't know, she said she know her, was trying to goddamn, she thought she was gonna talk shit. Now, because I'm old, I was supposed to just let her talk shit. And I was like, no, let me address some things with you, dark. I believe that based on, after I heard it, you cannot lead with trauma-based decisions, because if you act like you won't have your friends around your husband, then that means that you don't trust your husband to be able to be strong enough to reject any type of advances. See, but this is the thing. If you address the trauma before you get married, then you understand that you need a super strong man that is against certain type of shit, to where the shit will disgust him to even be approached by somebody like that, and somebody that is for you enough to say, hey, babe, that bitch tried to holler at me, or they did this that was weird, or like, that's the type of openness that I desire in my relationship. And the reason being for me is because whether or not I trust you depends on your openness with me. So if you tell me some shit that I need to know, then I'm going to trust you more than if I got to find out on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are upfront, then it removes the questions of if you can be trusted when I don't know some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're normally upfront, because you ain't never lied, so why would you start lying? You know what I mean? But if I gotta find something out, then that changes the narrative of trust. But the thing is, it's almost like trusting your path. It's almost like getting an understanding with God. All of this goes together because the more you understand yourself and address traumas, the better you are at making decisions and choosing the people around you. Even choosing how you feel about the things that you feel, because you understand what has been real in your life and how to address it so that you can deal with stuff in a healing way. But when you say that you don't want your husband around your friends or them in your house, and that means that you don't think your husband has self-control, has temperance, has discernment, or anything like that, and you think you're weak, and that undermines your husband, because it's like, or you think that I would cheat on you, especially saying it out loud in the way that it was said, because the response is based on the trauma that was experienced. But that trauma could ruin your relationship if it makes you be unbearable and untrusting, because the truth of the matter is 9 times out of 10, and the actual conversation was if somebody I think was needing to live with you. But listen, first off, we grown. This goes back to the more you understand who you are and what's important to you, you won't have just anybody around you. So if you got friends and you got to question whether or not your husband might slip up, then those friends could be bad. Why would you be friends with somebody that might try to persuade your husband, that has even that, I want to say, spiritual essence about themselves? You can tell when somebody is like trying to beat on your husband, or somebody is flirtatious with men in general, not just your husband, somebody that's overly flirtatious with non-single men. You can see that shit too. It's a lot of things that you can see in people before you goddamn some shit happen. But the other part is being able to see it and being able to address it. But in order to see it, in order to address it, in order to see if there is a real thing that you should be, you know what I'm saying, considering, you really got to see people in the situation. If you avoiding this shit, that's not going to make it not happen. Actually, that might make it happen in a different type of way. Like most times, people that's cheating, a husband that's cheating, he's not going to cheat with your immediate circle. Now, because something like this has happened in that family, then that is something that's a generational pattern that has to be broken. But you don't break the generational patterns by avoiding it. Sometimes you break those generational patterns, not sometimes, this part is always. You break those generational patterns by addressing it and facing it head on. And addressing it and facing it head on is, of course, I'm not just letting any random person, associate, especially as a celebrity, stay at my house anyways. Like, why would, shit, I'm not a celebrity, and I really don't be down with letting random people stay at my house like that. Only time I let somebody come in my house is when I know that I don't believe that they would bring harm to me. Other than that, I don't be letting people at my house. Hey, child, I'm not even saying nothing about that. When you don't let just anybody at your house, then that means that people that come to your house, you trust with your life. You know what I'm saying? Bringing somebody in your house is trusting them with your life. How many people would you trust with your life? That's how many people should be around your house. That's how many people should be around your husband. If you can't trust these people with your life, then why are they around you? That'd be like, how would you feel if he said, you know what? I don't want none of these niggas to be around my wife. Damn, nigga, you don't think I can handle myself? You don't think I know how to damn say no? You don't think I know how to move a certain way to make sure that I'm protecting what we have built? It's just, it brings an undertone to the relationship. In a marriage, there are 2 leaders in the household. And as 2 separate leaders, because you have two separate individual souls coming together. There can be one head of the house and it still be two leaders. I could be a leader, and as the head of the house, you lead me. We're in a dual leadership role where really our purpose, plan, and alignment with God guides us all in accordance with our souls. And if we are together on that level, then our souls are going to be so aligned that we move as a tribe, and everything that we do together makes sense. It won't be for no bogus shit. It won't be no other shit. You know what I'm saying? When I say bogus and other, like, some people do it just for the look. Some people do it just for the clout. Some people do it just for the fame. Some people do it for all of the stuff and things, and you know what I'm saying? Things that don't make a difference. But when you do it for purpose, when you do it from your soul, it comes out different and you get a different result. So that was a lot. When you do it, when it comes from that, it comes out to be something that transcends and that moves the culture. Now, sometimes you might start in one area, and then as you evolve from the areas that I spoke of earlier, as you evolve through those areas, it may change your understanding. There are people that might start for money. When you start out running for president or running for a public office, you be having all these ideals. I know people, they be having all these ideals of what they gonna do, what they could do, what could go right, and how things gonna change. And then you get in that position, and then you realize that shit ain't the way you really thought it was. And that's what it is when you get understanding. You get a level of understanding, and you start shit starting to make sense, and it's looking different, and you like in the Matrix, but not in the Matrix. And I'm not talking about the movie, but the movie. It's like you see things from a new perspective. And when you start seeing things from a new perspective, it changes how you do things. And in leadership, as you change how you do things, it evolves you as a person, and it aligns your soul. It's like as you evolve, you are shifting into position with God by opening up your heart, opening up your soul, opening up your purpose in your life to things that's in alignment with what's within. So you could start out in one way, but you get a level of understanding that continues to evolve you. And as you continue to evolve, you become into alignment with your soul purpose that's connected with God and the Christ within you. And now you don't even like to do the things that you used to do. Now you are evolving because now the trauma doesn't bother you. Now this is no issue. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like when you start to see the patterns, when you start to see the things that you're saying and the things that God has shown you through God's plan, through the written things that you've talked out, you've written out, through the things that God has shared with you, through the things that was laid on your heart that you've researched to find deeper and better understanding about things that go on in your mind. The goal is to understand what is going on in your mind. And if you can understand what is going on in your mind, then you can wrap your mind around the things that are going on within your life. And from there, whatever you don't like, you can change. Now again, some people need complete direction from the jump. They need you to tell them every little step because they have no understanding. They've never been exposed to anything. They've never experienced much. They've been sheltered and excommunicated or uncommunicated with about the real narrative of life and, you know, the reality in this world. And it's a lot of people that are raised in religion like that need complete direction and understanding. And then you have the people again that they have a little plan, they got the little thing, but they just need some different levels of understanding. They need some key areas on how to move. They need the motivation, they need the inspiration, they need to hear how you did it in order for them to feel more confident about how they want to do it. Everybody is not needing you to tell them to do it the way that you did it. Some people just need to know that it's okay for them to do it differently than what everybody else did because you did it differently and your different worked for you. And what people don't realize is that Everybody's difference will work for them. That's what makes it work, is because you are using your differences and not trying to be just like everybody else. And then the last ones are the people that they're latchkey leaders. All you got to do are latchkey participants, because gang, everybody is a leader in their own right, in their own mindset. But it's not just about being a leader. It's also being able to follow. It's also being able to, and not follow me, follow God. Like, God is going to tell you to do certain things, and you got to be willing and open to do it. You got to be free enough in your mind to do it. You got to be spiritually in a place where you can say, you know what? I'm going to go outside of what I would normally do and do what I feel like I'm being led to do. And if you begin to be led to do things and they begin to turn out to be good, then you'll be more confident in that direction. Now, if you begin to be led to be doing things and they're not so good, then you can discern when things are going good and when things are going bad. When you are led to something good, that's going to have a certain feeling. When you are led to something that's not so good, that shit going to have a certain feeling too. You just got to begin to discern what you're being led by and what you're being led to. There are some things that you just know, it make you uneasy. Follow that voice. When things make you uneasy, especially if it's something that's questionable, then follow that. Don't do everything just because you're trying to be out your comfort zone. You know, some shit is not leading towards what you really want to do. It's going to distract you from your main purpose and goal. And it could make money too. The goal is not making money, because if you tap into your soul the way that I'm trying to lead you to, the money is going to come. All you got to do is fine tune you. That's it. And that's what it is with leadership. Helping people understand first, where are you at? What do you need? Like, and sometimes people don't know what they don't know, because they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody has ever said nothing to where they think that they need to even, it never even crossed their mind. Who would have thunk to think of that? So everybody needs something different. And in leadership, what I realized today is that 90% is motivation. And if we begin to just address little things that I've mentioned in this video, then we'll go a lot further as a whole. But tap in at Speaking Freedom TV, listen to other episodes. I'm sure that you'll find something that you've been thinking about or that you could learn and grow from. Have a good day. We love you here at Speaking Freedom. Speaking Freedom presents Good Head Group, providing advanced spiritual studies and personal developmental insight. Brought to you by Love Gang and Speaking Freedom. We look forward to helping you grow in all the areas of your life. We hope that you find all the information needed for your growth. God bless. Please listen to all disclaimers provided. If you are currently under physician's care, please maintain that relationship. This is not intended to stop your current treatment plan. If you need physician care, please seek out medical attention. Please note, all results are based on the individual's ability to adapt and adjust to any given environment and situation. We are not responsible for your results at Speaking Freedom. The life enhancement coaches at Speaking Freedom provide information to help you grow. You are responsible for maintaining that growth, taking on and then applying the information to your individual life as you deem needed and necessary. This may contain and explain explicit content. Please use parental discretion. For best results, you will need an open mind, the ability to research, and a balanced lifestyle.
Please join us daily for your inspiration and motivation.
We have the entire world to offer you at your fingertips. Your life enhancement coaching specialist. Thank you for choosing us to assist you in accomplishing your personal and professional goals. And have a beautiful day. In love, we trust. This is brought to you by Good Head Group, Love Gang, and Speaking Freedom. We thank God for you, and we love you.
Hi, I'm Kaci, Dr. Kaci to be exact, owner of Speaking Freedom LLC, Love Gang, and Good Head Group LLC. I am also a certified life coach and host of Speaking Freedom Radio and TV. Although I have recently become an ordained minister, please be aware that I am still me, raw and uncut the way God made me and allowed life to shape me. I pray and expect God to use me for people who can receive the way I communicate, as well as my delivery. I am not for those who are already saved, religious, or super deep. I am for the leaders, hustlers, and street influencers around the world, including pimps, killers, drug dealers, and working girls. I am sharing my experiences and perspective to help someone be inspired to be better, and for those who can identify with the various aspects of my mindset. My mindset alone does not determine the status of any active connections or current relationships that have not already been specifically addressed. Additionally, these recordings should not be taken personally if I have not already spoken to you about the topic or expressed that I have an issue. These recordings are a part of my life's work to document my experience, perspective, and to see how life has shaped me. My plan in using my stories publicly and socially is to encourage growth in those who can identify with the experiences and find inspiration in my life to heal and overcome the path that they've been set on, no matter what they face, as according to the purpose of their soul, until healing takes place. Despite the experiences that I may have had with any person, sometimes known and unknown, I hold no grudges, no hate, no bitterness, or any other ill feelings against anyone. I pray that your life is whole and very fruitful. I forgive you as I hope that you forgive me if I have wronged you or anyone that you know or anyone who listens to me. I pray that you have peace and extend the same grace to others. I have love for everyone, especially on a human level, despite flaws or experiences. But that doesn't mean that I will associate or be close to every human that I know or meet. I've experienced a very eventful life and truly believe that my mindset and story based on experiences could help those who identify with how I think and are looking for inspiration to grow further, go beyond hurt, and be great. I pray that these recordings bless you and your soul in every way, in whatever way God has intended. Sending love and light to all. Thanks for listening. Achieve your dreams.